Crossing outside a painted white line can result in a $250 fine, a physical police encounter, and a cycle of debt. These roads are designed for speed, and the results are documented. Over 7,500 pedestrians are killed by cars annually, the highest death toll in 4 decades. Welcome to Neuramyth. Today, we are tracing how this happened. The legal status of a pedestrian crossing the street was rewritten a century ago by a coalition of car companies. This was the American street at the turn of the 20th century. It was a shared plaza with vendors, playing children, and people walking freely. Under the common law of the time, every citizen had an equal right to use the entire width of the public highway. The arrival of the Ford Model T in 1908 disrupted this ecosystem. Suddenly, heavy machines capable of high speeds flooded streets filled with people. This chart shows the scale of the crisis that followed. In the 1920s, motor vehicle accidents caused over 200,000 deaths. Half of those killed in cities were children under 16. The public responded with extreme outrage. Judges routinely charged drivers with manslaughter. In 1923, 40,000 Cincinnati citizens signed a petition to force a mechanical limit on car speeds, capping them at 25 miles per hour. Media coverage reflected this anger. Editorial cartoons frequently compared the automobile to an ancient god demanding the sacrifice of children. The auto industry faced a crisis. If cities successfully capped vehicle speeds or restricted access to streets, the market for cars would disappear. To protect their profits, manufacturers and dealers formed a lobbying alliance known as Motordom. They realized they could not make the car safe in a pedestrian environment. Their strategy shifted toward changing how the public used the street. At the time, Jay was a common insult for a country bumpkin, someone who was too naive to understand city life. Motordom combined this slur with walker to create the term Jaywalker. They encouraged police officers to use the term to publicly shame pedestrians instead of arresting them. This campaign of public ridicule began to reframe traffic victims as fools who were responsible for their own accidents. Motordom used 5 specific tactics to solidify this shift. First, they organized safety parades where thousands of children marched. These events portrayed child fatalities as the unavoidable price of living in a modern society. Second, they hired actors to perform as safety clowns. These actors would cross the street in ridiculous ways and get hit by slow-moving cars, making the act of walking in the street look idiotic. Third, the industry provided pre-written articles to local newspapers. These reports were designed to ensure that whenever a crash occurred, the blame was placed on the pedestrian's behavior rather than the driver's speed. Fourth, they used corporate resources to mock grieving parents. The Packard Motor Car Company built a fake tombstone in Detroit that blamed a victim for stepping from the curb without looking. Finally, the industry took control of the 1924 National Safety Conference, held by Commerce Secretary Herbert Hoover. Motordom representatives wrote the draft for the 1928 Model Municipal Traffic Ordinance. This ordinance became the blueprint for national law, officially stripping pedestrians of their historical right to the street and prioritizing the movement of cars. This legal shift created Stroads, a hybrid design combining the high speed of a road with the frequent intersections of a street. These environments are optimized for machines, leaving pedestrians with few safe ways to cross. These vague laws provide a tool for selective enforcement. In Jacksonville, Black residents represent 29% of the population, but receive 55% of pedestrian citations. This pattern holds in Kansas City, where 65% of tickets go to Black citizens. These statutes have evolved into a mechanism for pretextual stops, using the subjective nature of jaywalking to target specific communities and create financial burdens. Change is beginning to occur. California recently passed the Freedom to Walk Act, which removes penalties for crossing the street safely. Kansas City has also moved to strike jaywalking from its legal code. The car-dependent design of the American city was the intended result of a decade of corporate lobbying. The American street was once a space for human interaction, and current legislative shifts suggest it could return to that purpose. Should the priority of our streets be vehicle speed or human safety? Tell us what you think in the comments. Please like, subscribe, and share this video to help us bring more untold histories to light.